Hey friends, it's Nitya with Karma Chameleon. On the Feng Shui and Ba-Gua astrology channel, I often like to cover the astrology charts of famous people to better understand our own charts and our own lives. And we cover all things Feng Shui and flying stars. So if this is something that speaks to you, please subscribe, like, and follow. And today we're going to go into the new period 9 flying stars and how to layer the annual flying stars, the monthly flying stars without getting so confused. So today that's what we're going to do. We're going to unpack the 9 flying stars for period 9. And period 9 has now begun as we are fully in 2024, even before the Lunar New Year. I think that period 9's influence has started to have its effect. And so we can really start looking at getting your home updated to period 9. Is that something that you should do? Well, you can ask a Feng Shui consultant like myself, and at the beginning of a year, at the beginning of moving into a home or redecorating, that's the best time to schedule a consultation with me. So as we're looking at the 9 stars, I'm going to review how each of these are changing in characteristic from period 8. So let's back up a little bit for review here. I did post earlier, a couple months ago, I think it's been now, a big reading about period 9 and everything associated with this very transformative time that we are entering. So we've been since 2004 in period 8, ruled by the element of earth, which is very grounded, very earth-based, right? Very much about Mama Earth and the environment, also about the patriarchal system, top-down authority, the institutions that govern our lives, and also really focused on women and children. And we saw a lot of issues in the news around women's rights, around children's safety. So leaving this period and entering into period 9, we are also layering this event, a 20-year jump into period 9 ruled by the element of fire. I don't know about you, but Earth seems far more stable. We are moving into instability, into a time in which being able to pivot and adjust and adapt and accommodate and accept and surrender are going to be really important. So this 20-year period will take us to 2044, which is going to be a transformative, beyond transformative time of our lives on this planet. And I really go into more of that. I'll put the link to that first video I did about period 9 so you can go back and look at it. A lot of really important information that would be good for you to know. So period 9 is also happening. I love how all these layers of systems line up. Western astrology, Pluto is now going into Aquarius, which is a major shift in Western astrology. And it echoes very much what is going to be happening during period 9, and they actually run together. And this is no mistake. This is no mistake. This is a time of radical change in our world, in who we are led by. When you look at the world around us right now, it is filled with fighting and war. And the patriarchal system is slowly falling apart. I am curious to know how this is all going to go down when you add to that the United States is in its Pluto return, magnifying all of this change, moving away from the patriarchal system, the top-down authority, the old systems. And then you add that to the fact that it's a presidential election year for the United States. All in the year of the dragon. It's like a drop the mic moment right there. Oh my gosh. So yes, could anything that goes wrong go wrong this year? I like to spin it a little more positive. My key word has been the disruptor, to look for the disruptor, but really what we're looking for are people who are stepping up to lead. Who are our leaders in our communities, in our home, in our workplace? Who are these people and how are they pushing the agenda for radical, needed change? That's 2024. And when we look at 2023, that is about to end on the 25th of January with the full moon. I told you at the beginning of 2023, this was a year of preparing. Get your affairs in order, get your life in order, get your train on its track. Because the dragon is going to push you forward like you never thought you could go. So if this is a time of transition for you in your life, then you are certainly in alignment with this energy. If everything's great for you, you've got a great relationship, family, work, life is just humming along. Great. Lean into that. But for many of us, we are hungry for transforming ourselves into something more meaningful, and really more about our higher consciousness, aligning with Source, God, Spirit. All right, 9 stars, you ready? Okay. The 1 star is ruled by the element of water. And the 1 star has been our star for money and good fortune and will continue to be in period 9. But because we've now moved to 9, the number 1 is second in command, which means that number 1 is now the place for our future. So it is changing from now moment success to future success. So this is a place where I always like to put my vision board of everything I want to accomplish and also benefit from in the year ahead. So the 1 star is vision board. You can also use a single gold ingot on something blue. And again, when you layer, I'm going to talk about the layering. So this is the big picture, and they're onions. It's an onion of energy when you think about it. So this is a big influence. And then the next is the year. After that is the month. And for every one of us, our homes has its own Lopan of flying star arrangement for each of your rooms. And so, can it get confusing? Yes, it can. I'm happy to answer your questions, and just know that every one of those layers is important. And there is certainly a way to use these cures and colors like acupuncture needles. It doesn't have to be the entire room's design. It can be something as simple as placing a cure with the intention of what you want it to do for you. Okay? And Then the rest of the room can be honoring the larger lopan, the larger picture of your feng shui in your home. But again, break it down. Break it down. So period 9, 1 star is our future wealth star, a great place for a single gold ingot, a great place for your vision board. And since this is the next 20 years, and I am no way going to be doing a vision board of 20 years. I am not even doing one for the whole year, because as we move into this time of Aquarius, this time of period 9, the old ways of what is your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? What's your life plan? Are you saving for the future? Saving for the future? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But 5D living, which is what we're headed into, is much more about slow growth, slow movement, mindful awareness, what's happening, how do I pivot, how do I change, how do I adapt and surrender to what is going on. In that, making plans a year in advance, 5 years in advance, do you know how much can change? So much. So it's better to almost say, this is my first 3 months of the year, or my first 6 months of this year. Let's see where we are. And I love going back to a vision board to say, all right, let's check off with a big magic marker. Has this happened? Nope, not yet. How about this? Nope, not yet. This, yes, we've already got this one going. And you might add things to that vision board as the year goes on too. You might take things away. That's all great. And that speaks to the time that we're in, which is so much about movement. Think of a flame of fire, how it dances. All right. Now, the 2 star is probably the star that is going through the biggest change. And it is so precarious. All right. This is a star that is going through a reform. So we want to be careful. For 20 years or more, we have been calling this star the yellow Sikna star, ruled by the element Earth. The 2 star is now becoming a positive energy. As it takes on its new role of being a positive energy, one would say, let's give it fire and feed it. But you don't want to do that. You don't want to reward someone that is just turning themselves around. You want to give them a chance to turn themselves around before rewarding them. Fire nourishes earth. We do not want to feed the earth right now. Just as we don't want to give it too much to do. So don't put a whole lot of metal where the 2 star sits just yet. What do we want to do? We want to hold it where it is as an earth star with the element of earth. And that can be stones, it can be crystals, the color yellow, brown, tan, and continue to be mindful of where the 2 star flies so that you can be consciously aware, are health issues happening? If they are, look at the area and make some adjustments. Again, this is a brand new shift for the 2 star, and it's going to take time, maybe a few years before we really see it as positive. So right now, let's just keep it very protected. The 3 star is a wood star, and the jade wood star number 3 continues to be, I always think of it as an obnoxious brat. It's the energy that is catty. It's looking for a fight. It's irritable and nasty. And so it can also, because of that, cause all kinds of disharmony, arguments, lawsuits, slander, and not as violent as the 7-star, which feels more like physical violence or physical disharmony. This is more emotional. This is verbal. This is yuck. And so the 3-star, we want to weaken it by surrounding it with fire. And that's the color red. It can also be the color orange. It can be hot pink. It can be bright patterns. It can be literal fire, as in the placement of candles, incense, or maybe your fire pit outside, your fire grill outside. Then the 4-star is our other wood star. And that has been our relationship star for the past 20 years and no more. In fact, if you have a love altar where the 4-star is, you are inviting in a third person, adultery, infidelity, just something is going to come in between you and your love. Let's take that down. The 4-star is not where that goes anymore. All right, so the 4-star is now a star that suggests issues with your health, with relationships, with addiction, and affairs. So we want to weaken this star as well with the colors of fire and the element, the actual fire. The 5-star continues to be a awful, terrible energy. It is one that I have often referred to as a grenade with a loose pin. If anything could go wrong, it will go wrong. This energy you want to keep dark and quiet and undisturbed with any banging. And this is where bankruptcy, lawsuits, injury, sickness, cancer, death, anything that could be really a dramatic upset for your life. This energy we weaken with metal. Even a round metal bowl can suffice, okay? So always be aware of where the 5-star is flying so that you can protect yourself. Also remember to always bring your Lopan, your Ba-Gua, out into the yard, into your public, the space outside of your home. Now, the 6-star is a metal star. It loses a little of its auspiciousness during period 9, but we can still take advantage of the career and wealth luck that it can bring. And so because it's weakened, just think, the 9-star is fire, 6-star being metal. So we want to mitigate this so that we can benefit still by the wealth potential of the 6-star. And that would be adding earth, colors of yellow, brown, cream, tan, and metal objects, metal furnishings. The 7-star continues to be very unlucky in period 9. And this one I've often associated with a heavy blade, like being injured by a gunshot, or a knife, being injured by surgery, bankruptcy, lawsuits, backstabbing, just awful. And so for this star, we want to use metal furnishings, but then we want to add the color blue, because blue will drain the 7-star and give it less strength. The 8-star, which was our wealth star, has now taken a step back, okay? And it's less powerful, but still a great energy to activate for wealth, for career, for your studies and relationships. So the 8-star is now the location that you want to look for building your love altar. I always love that. and recognizing where that flies for the year, which this year 2024 is in the north, and recognizing where it resides in your house, Ba-Gua, as well. So the 8-star, great for relationships. Bring out your love altar. And a love altar, just so you know, is I always put 2 candles. And since the earth needs, the earthiness of the 8-star needs to be nourished, let's bring in 2 red candles. And pictures, favorite pictures of you and your love, maybe a couple pink quartz crystals that are heart-shaped, or pink quartz, which is our love crystal. You can do a pair of Feng Shui birds. Yeah, so I always love that. That's a nice one. So when we come around to the 9-star, and just to follow up, the 8-star, again, we want to nourish it with fire and earth, okay? And then the 9-star, we come in with, it's the color purple. It's bright colors. It's fire itself. And this is now our primary wealth star. It needs to be activated. You can bring in things like healthy plants because the fire needs to be nourished. You can bring in a little bit of green, certainly wood furnishings. Yeah, so that's the 9 stars. And if you're interested in a Feng Shui consultation for your home, I do this virtually. Anywhere in the world is possible. It's amazing that we have this technology. And it's also a great time to do your New Year update for your chart as well. So I'll put some links in the description. Lastly, there is a live on January 25th. I will be clearing my cures so that you can see how that goes, talking about 2023, the wrap up, and looking into the year of the dragon right around the corner. So until next time, be well.